All right, take three. This time without the AC, and hopefully this time without hitting a brick wall with my words and keeping this going. So I want to talk about the 10%. So we talked about before how 90% of the battle is getting the customer in the door, and the 10% is the customer service. And I kind of want to expand on that on this quick video. So that 10%, people often assume, in my case, I work on computers. So for your case, whatever repair technician or service industry job you have, that 10% may be variable, but it will probably lead to almost the same thing. So people think that in a lot of the computer repair, it's pretty much the same thing. It's I get computer in, I install Windows 10 updates, I uninstall the virus, and then I give them back and I get paycheck. That's how a lot of people would assume that my job would work. That I just run Windows updates, I click uninstall virus, and that's that. That's what I'm charging customers for. And I try to tell people that that's not actually what I'm selling. That's not what I charge people for. That's kind of the end result. That's the elevator, the shortest elevator ride you can have pitch. I take computer, I install updates, I uninstall virus, and then, wow, thanks Facebook. And then I give computer back and I get paycheck. But what I'm really doing is I'm selling the full experience, and that's what's within that 10%. 90% is getting them to go from their house or from their work and bringing it into the door and getting it to me. That's 90% of the work, because that's the 90% that you can't do. You can't go into someone's house and just take their computer and bring it back and make it work better and then charge them for it. They can ask you to, but you can't just do that. And that's why it's 90% of the work there. But that 10%, once they come into your door, it's yours. You've made the sale as soon as you can get them to come in that door. And that's the 10% is the entire experience. So I'm not just selling me take computer, me install update, me uninstall virus, me give back, me get paid. I am also selling the free knowledge beforehand. So they'll bring it in and they're going to ask questions. They always ask questions. And that's something that I have to take into account when I put up my pricing. So some of the services that I offer have a higher pricing for the things that I expect, which often do now, get more questions, and it takes more of my time. So while so let's say a repair only takes 30 minutes of my time, actual time. It may take 3 hours total, but 2.5 of those 3 hours is it just sitting in the background. So like this computer right here needs me to set up that account. I need to stop filming this video and set up this account. This computer actually needs my time. And so it may take 30 minutes of my time to get this customer's computer up and running again. So I need to bill enough to cover those 30 minutes. But that's not the only time I'm putting into this computer. I'm putting in that time from where they walk into the front door to the point that they walk out of that front door. I fix the computer, which I'm not doing right now, sorry. And then that extra time when they come pick it up, and I have to walk them through everything that I changed, all the updates, how things may work now. So if I fix someone's email or change how they're checking their email, taking them off Windows Live Mail from before I was born, they're going to need to know how to use Outlook 365, and that's time I have to take out of my day to charge them. But if I were to bill that separately, so I do, arbitrary $100 to fix email, and then I add a second line item, arbitrary number $50 to explain how to check your email now, the customer's not going to be happy that I charge them $50 to explain how they use their computer now. Because, as I said in another video, my time is worth nothing. I don't sell the service of my time. I sell the service of saving the customer's time. But if I'm explaining something to them, I'm no longer saving them time. I'm now using their time to teach them how to do something that they were doing before. And so that's one of the things I have to take into account, is that I need to be able to charge them preemptively, knowing that I'm going to need to bill up for this time. Now, not always do I have to give them the time. Sometimes customers are a lot smarter than I would even expect, and I don't end up needing to explain. And it's one of those balancing acts there that you try to charge enough to cover the 5% of customers that take up the time. So even though 95% of the customers may not use that time you bill for, they're all chipping in, pennies, dimes, nickels, whatever you want to call it, to help cover it for that 5% that can't grasp the concept of how to check their mail on Outlook because Windows Live Mail was the greatest or some fake fact like that. And so that's one of those things you have to look out is that if you are in a position like me where you are offering a service and a solution, you're not only offering a service and a solution, you're offering the post-service sales or post-service, what's that good word for it? Service after the sale. So you're offering extra advice after what the customer wanted and what the customer wanted as a after the service. And you need to make sure you bill that because you can't, you could. That's how you get a 1-star review, but you can't send them a bill right after charging. I fixed their computer. I got a clean install of Windows 10. They need a quick 15-minute tutorial on how to use Windows 10, how to check up for updates, how to install Google Chrome, how to, get Word back on there. They're going to need these extra 15 minutes just to get up and going. That's a normal thing. And I can't charge them an arbitrary number $100 to install Windows 10 and then charge a card, give them a receipt, and then be like, all right, are we good to go? And they're like, oh, how do I do this? Do you want to get a 1-star review? You then add on an arbitrary $50 fee that they then have to pull out their card again for. And so one of the things you need to do is instead of having an arbitrary $100 and arbitrary $50, go ahead and do an arbitrary $30 or something. You're not going to have to explain this to every customer, and you need to figure out where that balancing act is so that 95% of your customers that don't need this explained to help cover that 5% that take that extra amount of time. But taking that extra amount of time to make sure that all your customers that leave your door understand how to continue to use their device that they brought in, you need to make sure that every customer leaves happy. And that's part of that 10% experience is not only fixing the computer, not only making sure the customer is happy with what you did to the computer, but making sure that they're happy in general, that they understand how to use their device. They may be happy when they leave your door, but if they go home and then they figure out like, oh no, what was that password? They're not going to be happy anymore because now they're either going to call you, and that's always a headache. Never try to deal with a customer over the phone if you can. But if they have to come back, if they have to drive 12 minutes even, they aren't going to be very happy that they just had to drive 12 minutes home, 12 minutes back, and now they got to drive another, you just wasted an hour of their day. Whereas if you had explained this properly on how to sign into their email, or you even had some password manager set up, they would have been a much happier customer. Even though they left your store happy, the second that you were no longer disposable, the minute you were no longer disposable to them, everything crumbled. You didn't do your job correctly as a repair technician. And that all falls under that little 10%. And if you can get that 10% mastered, that 90% before the sale is the easiest 90%, even though that little tiny sliver of 10% is what makes this industry so hard, is trying to figure out like, wow, this isn't me click buttons, me install updates, me uninstall virus, me give back computer, me get paycheck. It's not that easy. And for people in the field that only charge $40 for something I may charge $100 for, it may seem ridiculous, but I'm offering all of these extra things. I'm not supplying just that one sliver that the customer thinks that they want, because it may not be the thing that they want. I'm also supplying the things that they need, the things I know they want, and the after the sales service. And that's things that, the Craigslist man won't support. The Facebook marketplace man won't support. Oftentimes, your own nephew won't support. And I know that one from experience. I'm sorry, grandmother. But that's the things that computer shops charge for. Successful computer shops charge for is all the sales after the service. and that everything within that 10%, not just that 2% that the customer wants or they think that they need, but ensuring that the entire customer experience inside the store is a good experience. And that's how you get 5-star reviews, and that's how you keep the happy customers. And that's one of the things that was kind of hard for me to learn until I found a couple of really good videos on it, and I'll probably try to expand more on it later on. But that's one of the things I wanted to talk about, was diving a little bit deeper into that 10% and how there's a lot more to it than just I install update, I uninstall virus, I get paid. And yeah, I hope y'all have a great weekend, and I'm going to try to finish up. I got like 5 computers I need to finish in 2 hours. So y'all have fun, and I hope you might have possibly learned something from this. It's been good.